Robert De Niro's going to tell us why Trump's a bad man. Of course, Bobby would go to The View to whine about Trump. Let me point out that at least 2 people on this set said they'd move to Canada if Trump was elected, Whoopi Goldberg and Robert De Niro, yet here they still are.
Some people have criticized you because you've been pretty open about your dislike for Mr. Trump and the danger he poses to democracy.
You don't like Trump? Standing ovation! Oh my God! You're telling me in Hollywood he faced criticism for not liking Trump? I find that incredibly hard to believe.
Fuck Trump.
You once famously said you'd like to punch him in the face. But right now, he's leading in the polls.
I threatened to assault a former president. Woo, yeah! Punch him in the face, Bobby!
Any advice to the Biden campaign or the voters? What are you thinking?
It's hard to give advice to the Biden voters when they're buried 6 feet under.
Well, I think I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously, because you read about it historically in other countries that they didn't take the people seriously. I think Hitler, Mussolini, they're fools and clowns. Well, and I hear it. There's some people. I mean, who does not think that this guy is going to do exactly what he says he's going to do?
Right.
He's done it already.
Wow, that's great. Donald Trump will do exactly what he says he's going to do. Isn't that what you want in a presidential candidate? Okay, this Mussolini-Hitler comparison is wild. We had 4 years of Trump in office. We experienced his presidency, and there was absolutely no relation to Hitler or Mussolini. He left office. He didn't stay in office.
And then what? We're going to sit around and say, what? We told you so? Or whoever, I told you so? It's going to happen. If he gets elected, it's going to change this country for everybody. And they might...
If he gets reelected?
...think that it's going to make their life better. They just want to, excuse my French, they just want to with the rest of the country. Literally. Those people who support him with anger and hate, because that's what he's about. I see what a hateful, mean-spirited, awful thing he is.
Hypocrite much, Bobby?
He's a punk. He's a dog. He's a pig. He's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt. It makes me so angry. I'd like to punch him in the face.
Robert De Niro only plays 2 characters. He's either a condescending prick, like in Meet the Parents, or he's an Italian stereotype.
Oh yeah, you can milk anything with nipples.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
He says that people who go to war are losers. Wake up.
When asked about who he thought should win, Ukraine or Russia, he very eloquently stated that he just didn't want more people to die.
It'll be absolutely
over. Do you want
over.
Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country. Now,
can I just follow up on that? You said you don't think in terms of winning and losing. Mr. President, can I just follow up on that because that's a really important statement that you just made there. Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying. Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying.
And I would love it if it was just domestic peace and we weren't enforcing peace internationally and getting involved in foreign affairs. Notice he's on The View, which is a liberal echo chamber. Everything he says is going to get an applause. There's a reason why he's not on Fox News or any kind of conservative leaning channel, because he just wants to virtue signal and get the praise for it.
Fuck Trump.
This is an actor worth $500 million. He is so far removed from the reality of an everyday person that it's laughable that anyone would give a flying F about his opinion.
Logan should be America. I want to America.
And the other thing is, if he becomes president again, he is never going... Listen,
why aren't you in Canada, bitch?
He's not going to not stop being president. You understand this?
Yeah.
His idea is to stay in until he drops dead.
This is the narrative they're pushing, which is so stupid. He already had a 4-year term and he left.
That's it. He's not even conceding it now. So imagine if he actually did win the election.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
We're going to have such civil strife. We're going to have all the things he says because everybody's now onto him where he projects what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's what he wants, what he envisions the world to be, which is chaos and craziness, total craziness.
I like how they don't mention any of Trump's agenda. They just say it's craziness. It's crazy. This is what happens when you dislike a person, not their policies. All this from a high school dropout who spent his life in Hollywood and only really started to care about politics after Trump was elected.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when he got up there and cursed. A lot of criticism of you.
Fuck him.
Okay, well, you know, this is cable, so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
Well,
I do wonder why you choose to go that way.
Let me say something.
Wow, Bobby, you seem so hateful and violent.
I'd like to punch him in the face. Where this guy is like a gangster. He's come along and he's said things, done things we say over and over again.
The fake gangster who plays one on television is calling Trump a gangster.
This is terrible. We're in a terrible situation. We're in a terrible situation. And this guy just keeps going on and on and on without being stopped.
The left justifies the violence and vilification of Trump as a necessary evil. What it's really doing is showing the rest of the nation how mentally and emotionally unstable these lefties really are. All right, Bobby, this is your moment. What is your primary critique, complaint, or objection to Trump as president? Go.
I don't know. I think he's crazy in a way. Part of him is just crazy.
I don't know. He's crazy.
This is a crazy world. What is going on? This guy is crazy. We've got to get him out.
When you say crazy, do you mean in a medical sense? Because that gets criticized pretty quickly.
Possibly medically, too. I'm starting to think. I didn't think that before. Because I can't believe that they would actually buy into this craziness. This guy should not be president, period.
Why did you feel that it was important for Robert De Niro to be outside that courtroom?
I think that's everyone's question. Why the hell was Robert De Niro outside the Trump trial?
We're in a very bad situation. I remember you and I about 5-6 years ago talking.
Deflect, deflect, deflect.
And even the speech that he made after is insane. It's just insane, and I'm very, very concerned about it. I think we all are. It's insane.
Once again, Bobby has no substance here, no valid argument. He simply states that Trump is crazy. He's just insane. The left thinks if they get enough celebrities to repeat these talking points, that it's going to somehow influence public opinion.
But it would be chaos beyond our imagination. There's no mystery about it.
So Democrats couldn't get their message out. People just saw chaos. Now they see chaos. And this summer in Chicago, they will see even more chaos because social media fuels this stuff. Here's the irony. Biden ran from his basement saying, I'm going to return this country to normalcy from the chaos of Donald Trump. Now Donald Trump is running on, I'm going to return this country to normalcy from the chaos that was created by Joe Biden. So that's what we have at this point. Biden and a JV administration created all of this. We're not just talking about campuses. We're talking about at the border. We're talking about in cities like San Francisco, Chicago, New York, and people moving to places like Florida, Tennessee, and Texas. Donald Trump is going to run on law and order ultimately, and that very well can put him back in the White House again.
The bottom line is it's Biden versus Trump. We want to live in a world that we want to live in and enjoy living in, or live in a nightmare. Vote for Trump, and you'll get the nightmare. Vote for Biden, and we'll be back to normalcy.
Why is Trump winning? I mean, the poll... But Trump was beating him rather soundly. It was quite a warning light, 48-43, also winning way more among women than he had before, winning outright Latinos. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the way I did, and many of us don't.
I don't know. It's all about my feelings. I think politics are a little above your pay grade, Bobby.
after the election in 2016, where we couldn't believe that it happened. The guy is a total monster.
Please, Bobby, just leave. Canada would love you.
And anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get behind that kind of logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them, because they're unhappy about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
I never play him as an actor because I can't see any good in him. Nothing. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and they look like intelligent people around there. For some reason, it can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine.
Trump hates CNN. They're still around. I struggle to understand how Trump being reelected would turn the world into this living nightmare. Basically, what Bobby does is he uses scare tactics. If you don't vote for Biden, your show's getting taken away. We're losing everything. It's not going to work, Bobby. It's not going to work.
That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him. Take him at his word.
I did from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I said from the very beginning, this guy is never going to concede power, and he still hasn't.
No.
He still hasn't. He still admitted he lost the last election, and he advertises that he will go on. He says he's been cheated out of one term, so maybe we should get rid of a president only gets 2 terms thing.
Okay, saying you've been cheated out of a term, fine. But he didn't stay in office. He had the opportunity to, yet he did not. He still vacated office. So I don't understand why this is still a talking point.
So
he's a sociopathic, psychopathic, malignant narcissist.
There's Bobby's default. Trump is crazy. Don't vote for him. He's insane.
If you had a schoolyard and he walked in and he had his bully friends around, the other people decide whether they want to oppose him or they want to let him just tell him what to do and own the schoolyard or the basketball court or whatever it is. He's got to be stopped.
In this schoolyard analogy, Biden would be the demented grandfather who forgot to pick up his kid from school because he slept through the afternoon.
This is who Robert De Niro is. He is a multimillionaire who doesn't feel inflation or rising gas prices. He's a guy who has personal security, so he doesn't feel crime in New York spiraling out of control. He's a guy whose job isn't taken away by illegal immigration. Instead of doing movies, maybe he should just co-host a show with Stephanie Ruhle over on MSNBC at this point. He's just another elitist with too much time on his hands, Todd. And, he's telling us how to think, basically. So, by the way, he owes us all an apology for Meet the Parents, too.
It wasn't good. Which is going to be more impactful come November. People angry without specifics like Robert De Niro, Trump bad, or actual scenes of chaos that people are scared of.
It's what people feel. Inflation, what they see at the border, and what they see going on overseas in terms of all these wars. They want normalcy again like it was under Trump 2017 to 2019.
Let's have a real critique of Joe Biden. Watch me, Bobby. I'm going to show you how to do a real critique. He did not stand trial for having possession of classified documents in his home. Now, either he's a senile old man who forgot about it, or he's a corrupt politician who's lying about not remembering. Either way, he should stand trial, or he should be impeached due to incompetency. Have you seen this report from a special counsel who cited Joe Biden's memory lapses? The evidence and the president himself put his memory squarely at issue. This counsel found that if Biden appeared before a jury, he would be seen as a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Republican Chair Jim Jordan said Joe Biden broke the law, but because he's a forgetful old man who would appear sympathetic to a jury, Mr. Hur chose not to bring charges. So either we have a senile old man who should be impeached due to incompetency, or we have a slimy, lying snake who's trying to get his way out of a criminal trial.
The evidence and the president himself put his memory squarely at issue. We interviewed the president and asked him about his recorded statement quote, "I just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote. He told us that he didn't remember saying that to his ghostwriter. He also said he didn't remember finding any classified material in his home after his vice presidency. And he didn't remember anything about how classified documents about Afghanistan made their way into his garage.
What do you think? Is Biden a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, or a liar? Let's show the left how it's done. Leave a comment down below. What's your biggest criticism of Joe Biden? Be sure to subscribe to Conservative Vibes, and I'll see you next time. Since it's Pride Month, proudly display your American pride. American pride since 1776, land that I love. Here on the sleeve it says every month is American Pride Month. This shirt is unisex, male or female. It runs from small to 3XL, made and assembled in the USA, so allow a little bit of time for production since these are made to order.